Okay, so this is the TV itself. You can see it's sitting on a one of those glass stands. Unfortunately, it's just a little bit big compared to the old 42 inch sitting over there in the corner. It doesn't look that much. It doesn't look that much larger when you look at the back of them, but obviously the screen size, without all the bezel and stuff, is significant. What I did want to show you was just here. So when we do go complete black, you can see the lighting from the edge, bottom right hand corner, top right, obviously there on the side. Probably not quite as obvious as the camera is making it. Across the top and that bottom left hand corner. If we just zoom back a little bit, camera is making it look a lot worse than it is. And looking at this now, it's making it really stand out and making it look terrible, but it's nowhere near that. You can see there's black bars above and below the screen there, and they do look nice and dark. Just looking at that, that looks pretty dark to me, and overall pretty happy. Now there are some settings you want to change pretty much off the bat. Initially I was all but ready to sort of turn around and take this back. Now this is some content I shot on the 4K camera that I'm actually using to shoot this new camera, the Panasonic 985 or something along those lines. Hopefully this is going to come out on the camera. Now if you just watch the ball where the dog's chewing on it, you'll get a good example of what I'm talking about. We'll put his foot on it here in a second. And hopefully you can see that it's like a little bit of shuddering or something along those lines. Possibly ghosting perhaps. Certainly appears when there's a little bit of movement or quite a bit of movement on the screen. I'll give you a bit of a shot here and hopefully you can see it. The dog's coat picks it up really well when he moves. And you can see it around the bottom of his feet there. If you're getting a little bit sick here, but that's obviously the camera watching the camera. And you'll definitely see it around his feet area when he's running around. It just gets very blurry and just basically just, I wouldn't say unwatchable, because obviously you can sit in front of anything. But when I was watching some movies, it was terrible. Like it was really obvious, and it was absolutely horrible. Originally, I thought it was the Android box that I've got for playing the content, playing across USB. Then I thought it might have been the possibly the USB stick that I had some content on. Another example here. See the sword, just anywhere there's action. So here in picture mode, once you go to settings and go into picture, you can notice a number of options. I haven't messed with those at all, but if you come down to the advanced picture settings, go into here. I have had a little bit of a play around with these, but not too much. You'll see you've got judder reduction and blur reduction. I think I'd play with any of those at this point, other than this one setting here, the ultra smooth, and turn it off. The other thing you want to make sure you do is, once you've done that, go back to the top. Sorry, go back again and make sure you set that, apply picture settings to all sources. Otherwise you'll find it comes on and off, and you'll think, oh, it's gone again, and then you'll realise that it's just you had it set for the current content, and it hasn't applied to all your sources. So make sure you're set to all sources before you exit. Now we'll just grab you some quick 4K content. Hopefully this translates all right to the camera itself, and you can actually see the quality of the screen. Now from where I'm sitting, that looks absolutely brilliant. It's again, it's hard to tell whether this is translating to the camera in 4K and giving you an accurate representation of what I'm actually seeing on the screen. But the 4K content is brilliant. Now this content, what we're looking at here is 1080i, so it's upscale. And when you're a little bit close, like I'm probably sitting maybe 3 to 4 feet away, you can see slight pixels, but generally as a rule the upscaling is excellent and not too much of an issue. If you go anything less than that, sort of less than 720, it becomes really obvious. There was some old TV footage on today, and that was a little bit obvious as far as pixelation and stuff like that goes. But overall, very impressed. Now I have found the audio quality to be pretty good on this. I am running it through a home audio system. So generally as a rule I won't be using the speakers at all, but just to give you a sample, here's just some commercial radio, and you'll get get an idea of the sound, which I'm reasonably impressed with. People have complained about it, but overall it's not too bad. I've actually got some music on it. We'll turn it up and we'll just have a quick listen. Okay, bass response is all but non-existent. The mids are alright, and the highs are pretty sharp, I suppose. So it is a little bit bright as far as sound goes, but overall not too bad. There is an equaliser inside built in, but I haven't had to play around with that. Now, the reflections with the TV off are pretty average, but for the most part, when it's on, I'm not seeing any issues there. There's your Hisense logo on the bottom that lights up. Behind the TV, you've got the usual inputs. So your card expansion slot there, an RF input for your antenna, a couple of USB slots. I think they're 2.0, so they're more used for powering things like, or maybe Chromecast or something along those lines, I suppose. Some 3.5mm inputs. I think that one's for a service, the other one's for headphones. We've got a couple of HDMI slots and a USB 3, which is the one you want to use for your content. On the back, some RCA inputs for a component, etc. Another couple of HDMIs and an optical out for audio. So you can see from the side of the panel, she's nice and slim. Probably about the same width of the bezel from the front. So that's it, guys. That's the Hisense 55N7. So 7th series Hisense 55-inch ULED TV. That's been the first 24 hours or so. Watched the movie on it last night. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and thought it was excellent. So much an improvement over the 42-inch Samsung plasma that I had originally. And now that I've tweaked the settings on the TV, much happier with the image quality, I suppose. We're not seeing any more ghosting or anything like that, and definitely seems to be an improvement, so I'll be leaving those things off for now. Thanks for watching. That's the Hisense 55N7 thus far. Pretty impressed with the price, which was I think I paid about $13.27 down from $13.99 or something that they had it on sale for, which was already $100 off. So JB Hi-Fi. Thanks very much, guys. No association, of course. Catch you on the next one.